Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking Speedloaders. Now this is probably one of the most standard things in Airsoft. If you've got a gas blowback, for instance, none of this is real, this is Airsoft. A gas blowback mag like this, obviously you need to put BBs in here somehow. Now a lot of these actual Glock mags now have an easier way, or certain mags have an easier way to load them by just dropping BBs in there. But grabbing BBs with your hand from something like this, for instance, is pretty difficult. Like loading this in your hand and then putting it into the actual magazine can be a bit of a nightmare. So this has been a product that has been around in Airsoft for a very, very long time. This is the Airsoft Speedloader, and basically what you are doing, sorry, this is a very basic breakdown, and if you're used to Airsoft, this might not be that interesting, but I am going to go into these specific products and just kind of talk about them. What you're going to do is pour BBs into this end, close up this cap here. You can push this down and lock it in place with a little kind of button here. So that's the plunger. And then when you push this plunger, it is going to push down a mechanism right here that is going to, if I block my face, that is going to basically push BBs into something like this. Or if you're using a high cap magazine, which just has a little hole at the end, you're putting it down, straight down here. Now, these two products are from the same manufacturer. It's a manufacturer called 6mmProShop, one word. These I actually purchased at evike.com. So at the end of this review, if you are interested in them, there is a link below. It has my referral code at the end. So if you buy that or anything else through Evike, I'd really appreciate you use that code because it does kind of helps me support this channel. So that'd be really, really great if you guys could do that. Now, these are things actually that I've had real hit or misses with, not this specific product, but with Airsoft Speedloaders in general. Some of them can be really good and, you know, they're actually like a lot more sturdy. Some of them can seem like they're very good and then break very easily after, you know, some use. And it can be a really, really frustrating thing if you're at the airsoft field, you're in the safe zone and you're loading your magazines and then suddenly your Speedloader doesn't work. It just can be not ideal. Now there are some kind of like mechanic Speedloaders, like for instance this one, the Vanguard Solution one, which I've kind of run through before, has a battery in it. It's got different attachments. Oh, there's BBs, and I can kind of like load off this. Obviously, this is not going to be something that a lot of people use because it's very expensive for one, and it's pretty cumbersome. So this is probably your standard, this kind of style. It's like a pistol mag kind of shape. This one's probably more of your SMG style shape. But since I've used these, I've actually really liked them. I have to say they are, compared to most of the Speedloaders that I've had, very well built. I like how they actually are kind of see-through here, so you can see how many BBs you have without being clear. You know, like that is this kind of smoky grey, I think they call this one. They do this one in blue as well. I like how it is like that. It kind of has these ergonomic finger grooves, so I know where I'm putting my actual thumb. This, for me, is a big thing on a lot of Speedloaders, is how strong this is, specifically this little bar here. Like if this bar is pretty loose and you end up pushing this at an angle and that snaps, like the Speedloader's done. There's nothing you can really use it for there. Another thing that I like with these is I have not had issues with them jamming. Sometimes you'll get kind of BBs stuck in this actual mechanism here and they'll jam. And so that I don't really like at all. It also has a like an indicator there of like how many BBs you have left. These, both of them, take 400 rounds. So that's probably like your large high cap. So, you know, if you are running a gas blowback like I am, these can be really good because it takes you from only having, like, what have we got here? Take out some magazines here. One of these, which has got a 30 round capacity, takes it from that to suddenly I can carry like 6 mags, for instance, like in this plate carrier, in this chest rig, and I can add an extra 400 rounds to it. Now, you may be thinking, well, that doesn't really help. These are gas blowback mags. I find in general, most of the more recent gas blowback mags are going to take probably about 2 to 3 mag fills worth of gas in them. So I can take out 6 mags, and if I'm in a game, normally that's enough for me because I don't fire full auto that often. But if in a game I am going to need more capacity, having one of these with me is great because I can normally fill one of these mags at least 2 times. I love how this specific one is shaped like an AR mag because of that reason again, that I can now try and like do this. I'm actually going to put it in this way. That's going to be a lot easier. I can stick this into the same space as actually an AR mag. So I don't have to worry like, oh, where am I going to put this? You know, is it going to go in that pouch? Am I going to lose it? I can literally just run, say, my chest rig in that format. And then I've got my 30 round mags, and then I've got an extra 400, which is kind of like a backup. Obviously, I can't stick that into my gas blowback. That's not going to work. But that I really like. The other thing is with this, I can do something similar. Let me see it. I've actually got not a chest rig, but this is actually a little dangler flap. And again, this, because of its dimensions, if I'm using an SMG, that will fit. Now, it will fit in a probably into a pistol mag pouch. I mean, that is going to be quite large if you compare that in size to this. Like, that's going to be a difficult one to see if that's actually going to fit. It probably will fit in some pistol mag pouches, but it's a very long, you know, actual speed loader. I have seen other ones like this one, which is not the same brand and not one I've actually liked using, but that probably would fit in a pistol mag pouch. Similarly, this one, which I think is actually a Tokyo Marui one, again, that will fit in this pistol mag pouch, but it's not going to have the same capacity. But these, I would say, probably are my favorite so far. In terms of pricing on them, you're looking at $20. And in fact, I think this on eBay right now is reduced to $15, and it comes in a whole load of different colors. That is $20 reduced to $15, and the other one here is $15. Another thing actually I do really like is this metal piece. So if you are loading in an AEG mag, for instance, like that is actually just going to sit in it perfectly. A lot of the other ones that I've had are plastic like this, and issues that I've had is actually separation of the plastic. Like when you've kind of used it, you can see there's like a ridge. I can try to show you that. There's like a ridge kind of between the two here, and that can separate over time, especially if that screw kind of gets loose there. I don't know what make that one is, so don't kind of like count on the fact that that's, you know, it's not, I don't think that's the same 6mmProShop brand. If it is, it's an older version. The things that I like between these two, obviously this is probably more versatile. I can fit this in here as well. You know, I could fit that in more places for sure. This is going to be a little bit harder to store. The other things, though, I do prefer with this one specifically is the actual plunger on this is recessed into the actual kind of over outline. This one, I kind of have to take the lock out, and then this could break. It's quite a solid one in comparison, but it could actually break. This one is just a lot easier for that. This has actually got like a little cover which slides off here. I think most of the time when I'm going to use this, I won't actually have the cover on. I'll just kind of use it straight like that. And then one thing I really like with this, especially for gas blowback users, is this little compartment here. Now, again, I don't know if that's that easy to show you guys where that is, but there's a little flap right here, and it's actually quite hard to get up. So I was struggling with this one earlier, but you can kind of pull that up there, and it has a little storage inside, and the storage for this one is for a gas blowback magazine adapter. So what this will do is this will attach onto the end of here, and I can use this then to, I don't know if it would work with this one specifically. If I pull down this feeder lips, I can kind of stick that on there. We'll do a, yeah, so that's not loading in there. I've actually, oh, it is. I've never really had much luck with these ones, I have to say. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of those adapters. It's kind of got two stuck in the way there, so it's not the best. But the actual thing I really like is the compartment. So, for instance, I have normally I have this little kind of box which I'll attach to the side of here, and that will hold all of my little adapters for different gas blowback magazines. Now, normally if you've got an adapter for a gas blowback magazine, it's going to vary not only by what style of magazine that you're having, but also by brand. For instance, like Jaeger Precision, I would definitely go and check these out if you're having issues. He does different versions of these adapters for different mags. So there's ones that like will fit the 8km series. I know this one I think is for the actual MWS magazines, and the Guns Modify ones, which I use a lot, don't work as well with that. So there's different variants on this. But for instance, this one I use for my VFC magazines. So this will normally just sit right on top of here, and it'll basically sit in that space and push down the follower. So when I'm loading the actual mag, that is the way to do it. You know, like that's the actual thing that is going to allow me to actually use a Speedloader on this and get the actual BBs in there. What I can do with this, which I think is very cool, is that little compartment. If I can get it open, I can just stick that in there. And this is going to vary on how big the adapter is, but I basically can take this mag, only this mag, or this Speedloader, only this Speedloader, have it in here, and then I've got the ability to effectively like load all the mags that I have with me as well. So I really like that. Like I definitely, if I'm running kind of like a rifle setup, that's probably what I would be going for. Now the big downside to these is that noise. Now I really hate, I like having all my kit very like drilled and very, I want to be as kind of like tactile as possible. I don't think it really matters 99% of the time, but I don't want shaking. I don't want anyone to know where I am. And if I'm creeping up on someone and suddenly they hear a shake and they turn around and see me, that for me is a real letdown. So I like to have everything kind of like tucked away, tied up, cable management, all of that. And that obviously is not going to allow me to do it. The more full these are, you know, with BBs, the less it's going to rattle. But as soon as it's like this and you're running around, like that really kills any tactical advantage you have. So I really want, and I actually had an idea for the channel that I should start doing this, is putting some kind of padding inside here to stop that noise. For instance, this is a different version of a Speedloader. I'll do another video on this because this is very popular. This is the Odin Sidewinder, and if you're loading AEGs, it's kind of got that similar little piece in there. You would just put your magazine straight in like that. It won't work with this because this is gas blowback. But then you would just turn this around and it will load it up very quickly. So that's a lot faster than doing it with one of these, but really that's an AEG thing. You can get adapters, but again, I haven't found them work that well. And because of how wide it is, I'm not fitting that into anything like this, which means you are going to have a pouch or a backpack or something to hold it in, and it is just a lot more bulky and cumbersome. But what they have done in this is they have like a rubberized insert there, or a rubber insert, I should say. And that means that it still shakes, but it's definitely less of a kind of clacky. You can kind of tell the difference. So I really want someone, or maybe I'll start thinking about trying to do that as a product. If you think, you know, that would be worthwhile, and I'd love to know in the comments below. But I actually liked that so much. I tried to do like a DIY version. So I don't know if you can see here. I bought like foam, and I actually tried to like insert it into this actual Speedloader. I can't really show you that, guys, there. It's not very easy to see. But there is actually black foam. You can probably see there where I've stuck it with super glue. And I tried to make it where it was going to get rid of that sound. This has probably helped a little bit, but it really hasn't made a big difference. So I'm really wanting to work that out and see what ways that I can or someone else can make a fix to that, because I think that would make a Speedloader for gas blowback like a real winner. But anyway, this is more about these ones, guys. I really do like these and I recommend them. I think for the price and for what they're going to offer, they're great. Maybe pick up a couple of them. Another thing that I end up doing, which is probably going to be, I'll switch them all over. But because I run different kinds and weights of BBs, depending on what I'm playing with. If I'm playing with like a rifle, one of my gas blowbacks is a bit higher powered, I'll go for heavier BBs just because the actual performance, accuracy, etc. will be a lot better. If I'm playing with, for say, a pistol, I'll probably run like 0.32s, 0.3s in there. So I'll put different weights on here. And so again, tracer BBs, not tracer BBs. So I do like having quite a few of these and then kind of like having them set up for different stuff, because emptying the BBs, then refilling them or remembering which ones have what weight of BB in them can be really, really annoying. So that's another thing that I could use. But these are the 6mmProShop. I think they're the 400 round SMG and the rifle speedloaders, airsoft speedloaders. And I like them. So this is going to be like a kind of like recommended product. As I said, this is going to be, the links to these is going to be in the description below. So please do go and click through there as opposed to searching them. That would be great for the channel. If you'd like to become a member, I'd really appreciate it. I've got some really cool collaboration opportunities with new retailers and manufacturers coming up. So those things that I review are going to be giveaways for the members. I've actually got a membership giveaway later today. If you want to go and check that out, I've got a video on it, etc. If you could leave a like, a subscription, subscribe to the channel, write a comment, I'd also really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you very, very soon, probably tomorrow, with another video. Thank you. Bye.